Hello and welcome to TJ Atarian. In this video, as I mentioned in my last piece, I'm going to be upgrading my Atari 800 with an Incognito board. For those of you that don't know, the Incognito gives the Atari 800 the ability to act like an XL/XE machine to play all the software available for those. It also gives it a 1 megabyte memory upgrade, and it has a compact flash adapter so you can load software with the side loader directly on the machine. So in the piece coming up, I really do dive straight in to taking the machine apart. In fact, I completely forgot the correct method to take an Atari 800 apart, so you might want to look at some of my previous videos where I slightly more efficiently take apart Atari 800s. But we get there in the end, and the upgrade went reasonably well. So please take a look, and if you like what I do here, I'd love you to subscribe to my channel, and then you'll see all my latest content. I try and do at least a couple of videos a month, possibly more. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, here we are at my bench, having a look at the Atari 800. And I'm glancing around for somewhere to put these screws. Always a good idea to have containers to hand. Okay, look there for some screws. So anything else? No, so we've got 3 screws at the bottom that are going to drop out. Let's hold on to at least 2 of them. That one's come out. All the same length. Second one. Oh, can't fully turn that one there. Okay, that's 3. Remind myself how it comes away. Yes, okay. Comes off nicely. Looking for somewhere secure to put that because these parts may be brittle. I actually have a box behind me which has bubble wrap in it, and it's going straight in there. I'm not taking any risks with this machine. That wasn't the Atari making the noise, that was just the lid of the box. But yeah, remembering this needs to also come off. The head on that one is interesting. Be careful with it. And this one is a bit awkward as well. Okay. That's one side. Really trying to remember how this came apart. I'm not missing some. Hold on. Let's just flip it over a moment. forgetting we really need to go in this way, don't we? Right, so we're going to move these cards. Just commenting, I've done this completely backwards. Should have put these out first. I've now made it difficult for myself because it's coming away from the chassis. So holding down on the housing of the card bay so it doesn't come up inside the casing. Okay, now I think these need to come out. This is a lesson in how not to take apart an Atari 800, doing it in the wrong order. So all that's holding that together is these two here, I believe. They're quite long. Remember that. What's still holding that in? Oh yeah, sorry, I've missed this guy over here. So I'm being a bit careful doing this. So this is not the right way to take it apart because I'm risking, well, I'm leaving single screws in there, putting undue pressure as it moves about in a way it wasn't really designed to in the case. Right, now that is now free, but let's just very carefully realise that we're still connected at the bottom. So, yep, so I'm going to reach down, make sure that's on camera. I'm going to reach down here. As you see, we have the keyboard connection. So I'm just going to lift that off, applying equal pressure on either side. Very carefully. Yep. So just use this to push it upwards a bit. Okay. So that was what I was just trying to get off from there. Pins are just, I mean, they're quite fragile. They're just slightly bent, but they're not overly messed up. They should go in quite nicely. I'm just looking for a safe place for this part of the Atari. Now, this shielding, I think, should just lift out now. After we've moved the power board, of course. Let's just raise that up carefully and put that to one side. And then the shielding is removed. So before we continue, realizing I've dived straight into taking the Atari 800 apart, what are we actually doing here? So this is the Incognito card purchased from Retrolemon a few months ago actually, so I haven't got around with doing anything with this. So it's got this ribbon connector which goes into a chip socket, which we'll talk about later, and we have this ribbon to a connector there, and we have the card itself. And this is going to actually replace a number of the cards that we're taking out, and you notice it has a compact flash slot there, battery back, so I believe it has real-time clock if I'm correct, and there you see Candelo Sin, who created this card. Okay, so I'm going to put that away because we're not quite there yet in actually needing to use that one. All right, here we go. I'm getting ready to do this now. So I've got some solder here. It's 60% lead because this is quite an old board, so I'm going to be careful not to breathe any of this in. So if we can zoom in. So the position, let's just get my reference again. So we're here, aren't we? And we're going down how many? So it's got that little marker then. It's that third pin there. And it's going along to 6 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But what's the length of this like? So it's got to go from there to 3, 4, 5, 6 there. So it's far too long, of course. Just cut it about there. Pinch off the end there. See what it looks like. 3. Yeah. I'm gonna need a bit of length on it. Right, yeah, okay. So I'm happy with that. Just pinch the ends and just maybe tin them off just a little bit. Just tin these ends a little bit. This won't be too shaky. Very shaky at the moment for some reason. Okay. So let's see if we can get a bit closer here. If I'm going to need much more solder here, let's flow a bit more in to this position. Checking my reference one more time. Yep. Solder on there. Sure my wire is strongly soldered in. That looks okay. So the next one is 6 down, checking my reference, double checking everything. Extra solder there to bind onto. Let's just find a decent path. That's okay, isn't it? I think that's going to be fine. So let's turn this around. Okay, let's push that down a little bit. I think that's going to be fine. Be sure. Let's just get a meter in on this and check it's in the right mode for connectivity. Seems alright, and we don't have anything shorting that we can see around it. Perfect. Okay, that's the first step. Okay, for this next section, I believe we need to turn the board over. And just looking at my reference, trying to see if I'm making sure I'm oriented the same way. And I believe we are. Okay, let's have a closer look here. Okay, so what we are doing is connecting the RMNI signal to reset. So we need another jumper wire between resistors R154 and R184. 184. So let's see if we can locate these visually ourselves. It's very hard to read, but I can see the R and I can see the 4. But looking at my diagram, that is R184. So we've got to go to the bottom of that, and the other one, R154, should be at the top here. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's the other way around. Yeah, I think that's 154, because that's a lot clearer. That's 184. Yeah, you can see 184, 194, 189. There's numbers closer to that range there. Okay, so we're going to, yep. So from here to here, that's quite easy to keep track of, I think. I'm just looking back and forth a few times just to make sure. Yep, happy with that. Okay, soldering iron's still on from before, so let's just dive straight in. It's good. Let's take it on its righteous path. That's decent to me. I think we need a bit more solder on this one. Where'd those tweezers go, eh? Right, there's a different set of tweezers here, good. So let's tease that into place. Just sort of there. Right, let's turn this around. It's going to be easier. Oh, there's the other tweezers. Okay. Yeah, easier from this direction, I believe. Oh, maybe not something. It's not very good. Can I get that to stay down nicely in the right orientation without burning myself? I might be burning myself here, because my finger's doing an excellent job of holding it into place. Do feel it needs a little bit more solder. It's crossing that other resistor. I'm not happy with that, because I don't want that to short. Don't think it is. It's close. It's come off. I'm not happy with that end. That doesn't look very nice. Let's just tidy that up. Plastic is there's an extra, oh here we go, there's an extra sort of bit of plastic sheathing on this from the ribbon cable. Let's trim that right back. Should have really got rid of that first. I'm not really going to be able to remove it right from the other end. Extra insulation for it. Let's take it right back to there. Oh man. Okay, never mind about that. That never happened. Okay, where were we? Over here somewhere, weren't we? So now that's looking a bit really long and uninsulated, so we need to trim that right back again. We're going to be shorting all over the place. Let's hope we have enough wire left to work with. That bit there needs a little bit of a haircut. These are not very sharp. Now the end is completely unpinned and it's still a bit too long. These are not good tools. This is sharp enough, but let's get right in there. That's the better tool to use, isn't it? Right. Can we just quickly tin that a little bit on the fly without solder flying off everywhere? And then it's going to be even neater because it's really nice and short now. Come here. Lower. But I might just make do in a minute. Let's have a look at that. What's that look like? Let's find a slightly different path that's going to stay put. How about, oh, I've not fused it onto that resistor next to it, have I? Plastic is, that's not good. Oh, that's solid. Oh, what a mistake to maker. Oh no, it's come off, it's come away, just a little bit of the plastic there. Yeah, I think we're okay. It's not pretty, but I think we're okay. Right, there's only one way to really find out. Got continuity where we want it, but not to anything neighbouring it. And saying the same on the other side. Yeah. Let's check this bit. Don't want that touching there. It's not. That's okay, I think. It is a bit of a longer path that had to take, so I'm going to forgive myself the messiness of that one. Okay, time for the next little bit of this. So I understand this is kind of an optional part of the upgrade, but these two resistors here, I'm not entirely sure what the value of them is now, but there's a recommendation to upgrade them to resistors within 1.5 to 2.2 kilo ohm resistors. And I understand it's something to do with the cartridge pickup, and it's a compatibility thing. Certain cartridges without these different resistors could be rendered inoperable. I'm wondering if that's to do with cartridges that only work on the XL series, so this is potentially necessary for sort of full compatibility. So checked through bits and pieces I had. I have here these are 2000 kilo ohms, 2 kilo ohms. So yeah, within the range. I had them lying around, so yeah, hopefully that's going to be fine. I think 2.2 was installed by FJC on his instructional video, so hopefully it'll be okay. Don't think I've got any of those. So yeah, if I've got it right, these are the two I'm removing. So we've got to desolder them. I haven't got a specific desoldering tool, so this is going to be yeah, they're quite easy to get to. So we just got to very gently try and persuade those out. Let's get my soldering iron on and ready. Hit this pad a little bit and see. What's required to get some movement here? A bit more heat, I think, is required to get some movement here. Yeah, a technique that I've seen is just throwing a little bit more solder perversely. If that's going to help me here, just to get things moving. Why is this not? What's going on with my soldering iron? It's not burning solder. I'll turn it a bit higher. Tin my iron a bit. Right, let's try again. I'm feeling these are going to be tricky. Right, now we've got that solder on these. Let's just see if heating up from the other side we have any chance of rising these guys up. Anything underneath them? Yes. This is when I wish I had slightly better tools. The soldering gun, I've never used one, but I have a feeling this would be a lot easier if I possessed such a thing. Heat this up and get some. Hey, it came up with some heat. We got the movement we desired. One leg is out. That's brilliant. Didn't think that was going to come away that easily. Right, let's go. Get the other side out just by putting up the pad, putting it upwards with these tweezers. A little bit of movement, I think I had there. And it's out. Okay, that's one of them gone. Right, let's try the same technique on the sky. It's a bit further in, so let's take the iron in from this side. Leverage again. Damage any of these traces. Oh, this board's slipping around here. What's this stuff? It's like having to be delicate with the soldering iron in one hand and forceful rising up with the other hand. It's just two opposite sort of motions. It's quite hard to do. think it's slightly higher. Let's get some more heat in there. And that's one side up again. And hot. Let's touch that. It's just coming out, I think. Oh, no, it's solidified again, just as I was about to put it out. And we're out. Okay. Beautiful. Right, I think the proper job here. Let's clean these pads up if we can. I think I've got a braid around here somewhere, a bit of wick. Putting up a little bit of that solder off those pads. Let's look at the other sides. Really? Is that? Yeah, there's two great big globules of solder underneath. This is the right positioning. Yeah? Wow, look at all that coming off. On camera there. Just checking. Look at that, soak it up. Well, that looks pretty good to me. So, yep, nice holes there to put the replacement resistors in. That's pretty clean, I think. Here we go. Let's do these one at a time. We can go straight in and give them a little snip. They're fine. Next one. snip those, but all four will need a little bit of solder at the top level. Oh, these snips are rubbish. Right. Oh no. Oh. Well, that's pushed out a little bit. We're going to have to heat that up and push it down. Sorry. That's okay there. Right, as I was saying, a little bit of solder at the top. Let's just have a look at that. That's okay. Right, step back on with it. Just going to give this a little clean. Okay, so that should be okay. Right, let's move on to the next stage. Okay, now we come to the next section. Now we have an added bit of jeopardy here because this is the supplied cable, and I notice the colours of the wire are different from the tutorial which I'm following for this. So I've done my little bit of mapping. Where I'm seeing on the diagram red, I'm using blue. Where it's black, I'm using purple. Where it's blue, I'm using grey. And where it's white, I'm using white. And I think there was a green and a black, but we haven't come to those yet. We'll get to those. So I'm looking at a diagram which is, let me have a look again. Okay, so on this board, there's a couple of small vias. These two, in fact. Yeah, that bottom one is a red wire on the diagram I'm following, so it's my blue wire. And the one above that, I think, let me just check, is the white wire, which does map to white on my diagram. Okay, nice little ends to all those. Prop it up a little bit maybe, so it's got somewhere to go. Yeah. State that it will go through. Oh, I'm so afraid. That's nicely in. And yet the other one is the white wire, both on diagram and on my side. Not much of an end on there, but it should a bit more. This is not happening. What's going on? I'll get a bit of braid on that, make a bit of a hole. Let's do this properly. Big old hole. Put that wire through. I'm going to get to stay there now. Oh, damn it. Where's my third hand gone? Ah. Tack it in maybe. I think it's okay. Let's just have a look at the other side. Those resistors we've just replaced. These guys just here. We've got to wire onto the bottom of those. So on this diagram, blue is left, black is right. So that means on mine, grey is left and purple is right. So those are the two resistors that we're talking about. Grey left, purple right. Okay, they're on. So the next bit of wiring goes to the CPU board. So this is the CO15500 Sally CPU board. I have it here. Antic pin 9 and 15. But the interesting thing here, this board is going to eventually go into there. But I'm going to have to work on it somehow. I need to put something in between, I think. Right, let's work the colours out again. Right, so green is going to antic pin 9, which is their yellow. Not going to want much on the end. A little bit less than that, maybe. Yeah, that looks perfect. Just quickly tin that if it's going to stay in a reachable place. Oh, that's got really dirty. One, two, three, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That one. And we're in. And the next one is antic pin 15. Let's get my cable ready. Where was it? This one was their green, which is my black. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh. I think we're in. Right, so next steps. Just to be clear, we should be able to easily get that card to there without snagging on the wires. That would be ideal. Just put it in there for now. Make sure that's okay. Right. So we've now got to remove the 74LS42 chip. It's this guy here. And yeah, this should be relatively easy if we can just get down either side of it. Just prise that guy up from that side. Get in that side at all. And not to mess with the neighbouring chip. Okay, let's try and get right underneath it here. Not to bend it. I'm only coming in from one direction. I don't think I can get in from the other side, can I? Maybe just a little bit. These tools are already messed up. Right, okay, we got that out reasonably safely. Yep, let's put that safely away in there. And we need to attach our ribbon cable. Where is our kit? Here it is. And there's only really one way it goes, which is facing this way. I think. Yep. I thought this would be so fiddly. Yep, no, that's fine. I'm probably just being too sensitive. Right. Okay, so just checking everything here. We have the ribbon cable there. We have this connects to various points. That's where we bring in our Incognito card and making sure oriented correctly here. So we're going to place these connectors, let's make that the most sensible. There's 2 folds you need to make. Come up like that, yep. Just get that plugged in for now. Tease that out of the way. Yeah, that sits rather nicely. Kind of needs that to come up that side, doesn't it? I think, but we'll deal with that later. And then making sure P5 is the right way. Green to the left. They had yellow to the left, and that's the one going green to the personality board on the Antics 9. I'm going to switch on the power up here. So as you can see, before this section, we've prepared by reconnecting the power board here, and I've got video and the power coming from the 9-volt transformer. So we're pretty much ready now to test. And yes, bring that round a bit. We seem to have Incognito BIOS picking up there. I see that as a success. Right, this next bit's a bit interesting. So at some point this is going to have to be behind all of this, and the ribbon cable, that's going to have to pass through. How is that going to happen? Well, there's no space. There literally isn't. What you have to do is ultimately file a tiny little groove somewhere around here. So I'm going to try and get the positioning as correct as I can. So we're going to have to take this guy out to work this out. Move him to one side. Have to unplug it completely, aren't I? Yeah. Let's do this properly now. Sit you down there. And you see, this has got to live in here, hasn't it? You've got to come up here. How are you going to get there? I'm just going to go a twist. These other cables to get out of the way as well. So that's the position. Let's just mark this out. I made a mark on the plastic, I hope I have. Okay, got a couple of little files here. Just I'll show you what I'm doing here. Just filing a little groove. Right, I have a little groove. I'm hoping this is going to work. Let's make sure all this other stuff gets routed out the way as well. See, so I zoom in on what I'm doing here. So all these wires need to be outside of this shielding, and they're still kind of attached together a little bit on the ribbon. So I'm just separating these wires off very carefully, trying not to pull on them, so we get them right out of the way. Now I didn't go for custom lengths at all on these. Didn't really think about that. Maybe I should have done. We're just going to have to hide the wires when we get to that stage. Right, so these ones need to come right down low. That was the deal. That's it. And then these need to make sure they're at the top. Wow. So where is my... How does this guide actually go down? Oh, yeah, I can see what's happened. Capacitor's got moved. Right, that's what's stopping it. These have got to go out there in the little slot of it. It's really hard to show you this, but these two, you've just got to make sure are not really trapped. I think that's the best we can do. Oh. Get them up there. That's it. Those lugs in. Okay. Wow. Not in judgment. Right. So yeah, it's nestled there now. Is this going to work? Let's have a look. So where the hell has this got to go? This cable has to twist, go along, and then it needs to go. Oh my god. I don't think that's right, is it? Okay, well, something was telling me there's too much of this cable, but apparently you are supposed to do it this way. So, wow. So we've got a twist there, because that's got to go along in front of the card. So we've got that solid, but then I've got to come out because I've got to work out how this twist is going to work. Is that too far? No, I think that twist is good. And then you've got to come up, so that's got to go down and then under the card. I think that's going to work. Let's have a look. So the card, it's just got to get down and up to there, right? So under the card, like that. Then so if I try and insert the Incognito and voila, because it doesn't really matter that it's too long, I don't think, because it's got plenty of space because we haven't got those additional memory cards. Is this even the right way up? Yeah, it's keyed the right way. I'm just struggling to manipulate it in there. There we go. Voila. We're in. Right, so there's the main board and the power board all connected up and the Incognito in. Yeah, maybe we should do another quick test before we put everything back together. Video in. And power on. Need some TV output. TV takes longer to boot than the Atari does. It's crazy. It's just the world we live in. Incognito PBI BIOS is coming up on the screen. Everything is good. Okay, some of you may note there is another part to this install which I've not talked about. There is a method to install an ATR switch and ultimately also replace these LEDs, have one of them acting as a hard drive LED, and where there is a switch in the case, sorry, it's a light channel in the case, the plastic piece that comes up and takes the light so it's visible, that can be turned into a switch and pressed down on a momentary switch inside here. It involves a bit more advanced manipulation of the board. I think you've got to drill a couple of holes, cut some traces. Don't really feel like doing that today. I may even look into are there other ways of installing the switch, because you can get to the header in here. So yeah, maybe I can find another way, because I'm not prepared to work on the board to that degree and risk damaging the original Atari. So I just thought I would mention that. So okay, let's get things back in order. Let's have a look. Now, I think I've just realised something, because this needs to route differently. Yeah, that needs to go down through. I've messed up. No, I've not messed up. I just need to retract here and have a little look. Okay. Yeah, there is a gap there. That's where that's got to go. So we'll remove that for a moment. To remove that as well, aren't we? Yep. Push the little lugs underneath. Get this guy back out, right, and pass this through here. Okay, we go straight back down maybe. Make sure nothing is getting caught behind. Should be looking from the side where the business is going on, really. Ultimately just trying to ensure none of these guys get caught up. The ones that go, yeah, they've got to go outside the black and the green. This really is awkward, actually, because these need to go that way. That's it. So that that can actually close down. It's kind of got to be, let's get in closer on that, at the front of the board there, the front of the plastic. It's just got to nestle in. Right, let's push down. Yep, I think we're all right. Yep. Okay. That goes along again. Now we've got this to contend with as well. That's got to stay that side. Okay. Right, so that goes in there. This goes in there. Okay. Everything feels firmly in. That lug wasn't. That was maybe what was making it feel a bit. Yeah, I think we're good. Now, let's see how this looks. Remove these. Power board out of the way, because that comes into play in a moment. Make sure everything clears Okay. How do we look? So we just got to tuck these out the way, I think. So no screws are going to mess with them. Okay, I think we're good. Is this the long one? I think it is. Not sure what that's for. Don't know if I should be going in along with this or not. I'm doing it. I think that's right. Must be. Yeah, okay, that's solid. Right. That looks rather nice. Right, let's bring in the power board. So, see how this looks. There, so we need to make sure the keyboard is connected properly. That's very hard to show. Well, I can do it like this, I guess. So just under here, need to make sure this is connected up properly. I'm going to hope that's got enough contact. Right, let's turn this over. And here's the back piece. Okay, and here we have it, an Atari 800 with an Incognito, and we can open it up. Still can't see it, but we can see it nestled under there. And you can see all those other slots are empty. That's because the Incognito means we don't need this, but if it's a ROM board, and we don't need this 16K RAM board. There's another one of those 16K RAM board. We don't need that, and a further 16K RAM board. We don't need that because this does all of these things and more. So let's just power them up and just check everything's still in order. Incognito PBR BIOS. There we go, that's booting to DOS. Wasn't doing that before. I'm going to turn it off again. I'm going to press the Atari key, and there we go, we're in the Incognito menu, and we're in XLXE mode there with Mega RAM. So yeah, all rather successful. So thank you for watching my Incognito install video. Join me next time where we'll put this to some good use. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you did.